Hello and welcome to the Breaking Bitcoin Market Update. It's Thursday, June 10th, 2021. Welcome one and all to your favorite 2 hours in cryptocurrency podcasting. You know what we do it, guys. Technical analysis, news, entertainment, a little bit of everything for all you crypto junkies out here in the space. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Of course, as always, your host, Crypto Jack, joined by two of our CC analysts. We got Alex and Jason with us today. Let's hear from Alex first. Alex, how's things going?
Pretty good. Just I couldn't help myself. Spent the morning trying to figure out what the market is doing. Still don't know.
Yeah, it's choppy out there. Still hard to get a grip on whether this bull is ready to charge again. But we'll, of course, be discussing this. We'll also have Jason chiming in on this topic. Jason, what's going on, buddy?
Not much. Had a nice morning. Woke up a little bit late. Made myself some steak and eggs. Then, just like Alex, just kind of took a peek at the market. It's just kind of funny that we're just kind of ranging here, right? Like it seemed like we had a lot of momentum yesterday, but it seems to be fading out a little bit here. But maybe we're just consolidating before we can make another push to the upside.
Yes, indeed. Well, I guess all of that will certainly play out, maybe even this week, or it's just going to be a mostly sideways affair. We certainly have a range kind of already established here. Well, guess we'll wait and see what happens. All right. Today's show, of course, is going to go the full 2 hours. We are going to have plenty of time to likely get into everyone's requests today. So anybody who felt neglected on account of yesterday's show having to end a little early, we'll probably get your requests in today. So stand by for that. Beyond that, of course, we had the mentorship session yesterday. How did that go?
It went really well. We mostly fielded trading-related questions, so we didn't even really get to do much of the rest of Chapter 12 of Insider Buy Super Stocks. So, be continuing to continue it next week, and eventually we will finish it.
All right, well, you heard it here, guys. Another successful mentorship session. If this is something you might be interested in as a trader, if you do want to have a little bit of, something approaching one-on-one time, maybe a group setting, but more one-on-one time with our analysts in order to ask them questions, pick their brain, get a little input, get a little bit of advice, or just even emotional support in these challenging times. Our weekly mentorship sessions are one place to do it, available for the Premium Plus members. Do recommend you guys check that out. All right, let's continue from here. Let's dive right in. You know how these next 2 hours are going to play out. First hour, we are going to get from this intro into the news segment, where we will eventually get into Alex's macro analysis, all things crypto and wider markets. By hour two, of course, we will be in the AMA and request section of the show. So that's, of course, we'll also be opening a chest for our D-Live viewers. 1 hour, 45 minutes into the show is roughly where we deploy the big chest full of lemons for all you guys, so stand by for that as well. In the meantime, let's kick it off. Let's take a trip over to the charts. I'm going to quickly recap the last 24 hours of price action here, brought to you by some of the Cracking Crypto proprietary indicators. Here we go. All right, here's a look at Bitcoin. We did tap a high of right around 38.4 overnight. Not bad. Decent recovery. Seemingly on our way to $40,000 from the lows of just, what was it, Tuesday? 31,000 flat on Tuesday. Here we are. Impressive. Almost a 25% move from the very lows of this panic on Tuesday to the very highs of the overnight trading session. Here we are currently at $36,617 on Bitcoin presently. And, we're above the baseline. We're holding above the baseline, maybe setting up to do something great, or at the very least break some hearts. Not much to really comment here. Minx is still below zero, but it looks like it might be crossing over soon. And WADA's picking up just a tiny smidge of volatility, some momentum potentially underway. Yeah, not much else to add. There you have it. Bitcoin, little toppy for now in this ranging, but we'll find out soon. Something tells me I have a feel in my bones. There's going to be another move coming up shortly. Fingers crossed. I feel like we're closer to 40k than 20k. If I were to give it kind of a discretionary call on this one, but I'll leave further analysis to our analysts. Let's see what Ethereum is doing. Ethereum sure does look weaker than Bitcoin. I think the Bitcoin Ethereum chart will also bear this out, but here's Ethereum. Kind of droopy today, currently at 2460 on Ethereum, and kind of stuck below the baseline, seemingly tapping it multiple times in this last week or so, and yet not really being able to close above it. Certainly looks weak. Not much else to say besides a short signal on Ethereum was printed just 2 days ago. We'll see what comes next. Let's have a look.
We're in, by the way. We're in that short.
Oh, we are in a short on Ethereum.
That's something that we actually discussed yesterday on entering into signals after they've already like either pumped against it or whatever, and why Alex didn't exit it. I mean, sometimes when you get into a daily trade, they go right against you. I mean, most often than not, right?
Certainly, but I guess if your trade wasn't disqualified yet, you don't have any exit signals, you haven't been stopped out, then yeah, maybe leaning into it. Yeah, might very well still execute. So I wish you guys the best of luck in the Ethereum short. EOS USD currently at $5. Let me just adjust my chart here, and here we go. Yeah, EOS currently at $5.01, looking a bit like the Ethereum chart, looking hella weak. We'll see what comes next for EOS. Quick look at Doge. What is the Doge doing? Well, it's at 33 cents. Looking a bit like the last few charts we previewed. Building a touch more negative momentum. Yeah, when is this doggy ready to send? Let's have a look. Here's a look at Link, currently $23, pretty weak, looking a bit like the Ethereum chart. Man, it's about to fall out and select alts. Here's XRP, seemingly had a bit of a baseline rejection, currently at 86 cents. Not much else to say on this. Polkadot, currently $22. Yesterday closed marginally above the baseline, still holding it. Will Dot continue any kind of rally from here? Man, most indicators are kind of flat on their face though, not a lot to do. Kusama though, currently at 470.
For systems trading, to be honest.
$40.71 Kusama, continuation long on yesterday's close from Minx, and even WADA is picking up today. Kusama looking ever juicier for potentially a long, maybe a baseline bounce off of support. Maybe will we potentially set new all-time highs amid all of this market pessimism on Kusama? Maybe Kusama's defied a lot of expectations this year. Looks damn good. Here is MATIC. MATIC currently $1.37, looking dire. And BNB holding decently well. Here it is, looking a bit like the Polkadot chart, above the baseline, hanging sideways. $350 BNB, which was, man, just over $600 a few weeks ago. Why oh why? The Uni token currently around $23, looking a bit like the other charts, but notably above the baseline nonetheless. Here's Cardano $1.53, kind of whistling away at with WADA starting to build negative momentum as well. Man, some of these coins really do look prime for a short. Well, maybe a short a day or two ago, but a short nonetheless. Alright, well, let's quickly check in with GME. Man, GME got dumped into in the last 48 hours. Let's see here. How much is it down from the very tippy top of
Oh
what
no.
Tuesday's
Damn.
action? Yeah, down 33%.
So
And
so it just makes me like, gives me anxiety. Like, what's it gonna look like?
well,
Oh yeah.
maybe if you were playing, you know, like a baseline bounce and then a reversal, you know, you might have filled your order right here today on this wick. This wick reached all right down here, almost to the baseline at $229. Is this going to continue dumping, or will this be a perfect spot to expect a bounce from the baseline?
It'll continue.
Looks pretty bad to me.
It looks ugly.
It'll continue. You got a gap fill that it's still there. It looks
Right.
really weak.
Yeah, there is a gap right here. You'd expect it to fill.
I mean, it doesn't have to fill, of course, but yeah, I think that looks really weak.
Indeed. All right, there's a quick look at GME. AMC doing something similar, I suppose. Let's see, how far down are we from the tippy top of the action here? About 40%. Man, volatility. Don't say the regulators didn't warn you retail suckers not to play with fire. GME and AMC sharply sold into after hitting highs just this week. So, buyer beware, danger. Be sure to stay out of trouble on these ones, but still fascinating to think that the epic short squeeze of the ages, the Wall Street Bets Reddit super squeeze, still somehow underway. Will the markets ever be able to digest?
It'll go up forever now. Don't worry.
Right? I don't know. The market conditions, I feel,
It's
are...
a simulation.
This whole thing is unprecedented. Who knows what to expect
Euphoria, maybe.
from AMC and GME. All right, guys, there's your quick overview of the daily scan. Sorry, Jack's daily scan here in the house, done and in the down and in the bag. All right, it's time to get into the next segment, guys. Let's go take a look at what's going on in bubbles. What is about what you not quite what I would expected, but yeah, a bit of a down day. In fact, some tokens are sharply down today.
I just want to note Bitcoin holding up far better than all the alts.
Indeed. Here is take a look. One of the biggest losers of today is ICP, $69. Pretty sure someone was asking us in the chat just yesterday, day before, about will we get a $70 ICP. I think $70 was their requested target. Remind me. Yeah, $70. Well, looks like you got it, big guy. $69 ICP presently after a 20% pullback. There you go. Buying opportunity, or are you just catching falling knives? That maybe we'll take a look.
On Bitcoin yesterday.
Oh, you took a long on Bitcoin.
I grouped it.
Oh, right on. Right on. Damn. Bottom feeder signal, or I guess I'll have to go and check the rationale.
As you see, we've been staying above the daily baseline.
Word. Well then, best of luck with the Bitcoin long signal, but everything else indeed kind of waning as Bitcoin looks longable. Go figure. Let's just check in on a few other big losers that were, of course, doing okay in recent weeks. RUNE down another 15% today. Comp down 11.5%. Let's see here. T-Fuel giving some back after a pretty good run. T-Fuel down nearly 10%. You got the likes of Curve and MATIC down about 10%. AVE down nearly 9%. So you can see it's about single digit, in some cases double digit losers across the board here. There's a couple outliers though. Chili's posting a 10% day. Luna, no, that's Terra, but I did see Luna up here. What happened to Luna? Luna got sold into before in the last 30 minutes. You got the likes of Bitcoin Gold. I'm curious. I'm gonna have to almost look at Bitcoin Gold. I'm curious as to what markets this even trades on.
Bitcoin, I've been telling you guys.
I know you have been. What have we been thinking? Let's see here. Yes, Terra up a few points. Kusama is among some of the minor upticks today, but everything else is it's a down day. Down day in the alts. A weakness in the alts. Is the alt season over? Are we about to hit Bitcoin's next big cycle? That's a good question. Alts might be on the back burner for the next little while. Gonna keep our eye on it. But there is a quick look at bubbles for you guys. Let's dive into the next segment, shall we? Got a couple news items here. Actually, I should have closed this as well. Give me just a second. Let's open this. All right, perfect. Getting into the news next, let's have a look. First, our first news story comes from Decrypt. IMF has a problem with El Salvador's Bitcoin ambitions. All right, apparently Alex wasn't the only one with a bit of an objection to the El Salvadorian decision to give Bitcoin their blessing.
Our dollar.
Indeed. All right, let me just fix one other thing here and hide this and put this over here. All right, bear with me just 1 second. All right, we're good to go. All right, so the country's recent move to make Bitcoin legal tender raises a number of macroeconomic, financial, and legal issues, according to the IMF spokesperson. Let's see here. They're taking issue with El Salvador's move to make it their second official currency. Salvador's president Nayib Bukele announced his plans for Bitcoin law last week at the annual Bitcoin conference in Miami. His bill was officially adopted yesterday, making El Salvador the only country in the world to require local merchants to accept cryptocurrency. Man, who pays the fees on this shit? Let's have a look. Adoption of Bitcoin as a legal tender raises a number of macroeconomic, financial, and legal issues that require very careful analysis. So we are following developments closely, and will continue our consultation with authorities, said IMF spokesperson Jerry Rice at a press conference. Man, like, yeah, what don't these countries get? What don't these countries get when we say International Monetary Fund? You know, you have to be an international participant in the program, otherwise, you know, things just don't work. So get with the program, El Salvador, says the IMF spokesperson Jerry Rice at a press conference Thursday morning. Crypto assets, he continues, can pose significant risks, and effective regulatory measures are very important when dealing with them. Bukele is widely regarded as an autocrat since taking power in 2019. He's gutted the country's constitutional court and used the threat of violence to effectively bully the legislature into adopting his policies. Is Bukele's position that Bitcoin could be a resource for the country's unbanked? 70% of El Salvadorians do not have access to traditional financial services. Every restaurant, every barbershop, every bank, everything can be paid in US dollars or Bitcoin, and nobody can refuse payment, says Bukele in a Twitter earlier this year. El Salvador adopted the US dollar as primary currency back in 2001. Rice added that IMF will discuss its objections with Bukele in person during a virtual meeting later today. Yes.
We can't thank the unbanked until we get Lightning Network. It just not at the transaction cost that we get when it's being used.
Yeah, not even remotely practical.
Yeah.
It
should make.
I mean, how are you going to pay a $1 transaction fee when that's what you make in like a week or a month?
Yeah, I mean, who's going to wake
pay days wages for transactions? Cough, Ethereum, cough.
Yep. Between the transaction fees, you know, long confirmation times, it's, you know, it's suitable. It definitely absolutely blows, you know, transporting precious metal and clearing that out of the water. But compared to, you know, obviously modern forms of digital payments, Bitcoin is kind of woefully lacking. You know, you're paying a huge premium for Bitcoin's security model, not entirely suitable for buying, you know, fruit from the local vendor. But nonetheless, it's an interesting move forward. Maybe there can be some way to bolster this effort to bring Bitcoin payments to the people. You know, maybe we need the. I know this is kind of counterintuitive, but you know, maybe we need Cash App to help El Salvador in its deployment. Or, you know, now that they've accepted Bitcoin, you know, maybe Bitcoin will be suitable for some of the bigger transactions taking place in El Salvador, but for the small stuff on the ground, we really need a lightweight currency, something that might suit the smaller economic transactions over there. Now that they open the door to Bitcoin, you know, maybe other cryptos can find a home in their economy. So I wish them the best of luck. even if this president may be a bit controversial, and this whole thing might fly in the face of the IMF. In the end, I guess I do hope that the El Salvadorians on the ground can make the best of it. Let's get into the next story. All right, here we go. Here's Basel Banking Committee sets high standards for crypto. According to the Basel Committee on Banking Supervision, cryptocurrencies should have some of the strictest capital requirements due to their risks. These stricter requirements would apply to pure cryptocurrencies, but not necessarily stock tokens or stable coins. Markets reacted to this appraisal, well, maybe, by pushing Bitcoin up a few percent. Honestly, this isn't bad. This is actually a decent development. More adoption, even if it comes with extremely strict standards for collateralization and capital requirements. This is still pretty good. Although banks face limited exposure to the nascent crypto industry, the growth of crypto assets and related services has the potential to raise financial stability concerns and increase risks faced by banks. These risks include market and credit risk, fraud, hacking, money laundering, and terrorist financing risk. As a consequence, requirements for holding Bitcoin as similar tokens should be higher than those for conventional stocks and bonds, according to a consultation paper released by the Basel Committee. All right, this is good. Do you know why? Because it's better than there's no requirement, no bar that could be, no threshold that could be met for Basel to I guess give banks the blessing. This is good because it's actually outlining, there are requirements that can be met, so it is feasible, even with the strictest of standards, to have a bank, to allow some banking partners to actually hold and I guess deal in crypto. So not bad. Not a complete blanket ban and a hard no that this will never be allowed. More of a listen, we're gonna have to keep a very high capital requirement standard, and you guys might just be able to play with crypto in your little piggy banks. One of the world's most powerful banking standards setters, the Basel Committee includes the Federal Reserve and the European Central Bank. This is very good. Another, you got the IMF sounding off on Salvador, and you have the Basel Committee today proposing risk weight of 1,250% among the toughest standards for bank exposures on riskier assets. In effect, banks would have to hold capital equal to the exposure they face. For instance, a $100 exposure in Bitcoin would require a minimum capital backing of $100.
1 to 1, baby.
These standards would apply to assets created through decentralized finance and non-fungible tokens. However, the Basel Committee said that central banking digital currencies were outside the scope of this consultation. However, the Basel Committee had a different perspective about other specific crypto assets, which it defined as private digital assets that depend primarily on cryptography and distributed ledger. Similar technology, for example, stock tokens, could fit in modified existing rules on minimum capital standards for banks. Additionally, stablecoins would also qualify for existing rules, provided they were fully reserved at all times. All right. Not bad. The Basel Committee, like I said, it's not a no. They're saying that there's a chance. If you meet these super high standards, maybe your parents will let you go to Disney World after all. Be a good boy, and you might even be let into play. So, good, decent news. I can see why they're trying to attribute a small move up in the market to this, because I do think this does herald more adoption, more acceptance in the mainstream banking world. Let's have a look at this next item coming from Cointelegraph. The Bitcoin boon as U.S. inflation hits 13-year high, wages fall to lowest in the 21st century. That's right, we have the latest CPI report coming out this week, and economists consider it grim news. And kind of bittersweet, of course, for Bitcoiners out there. But let's have a look. Bitcoin gained more free publicity this week as inflation data showed that prices are rising faster than even experts had anticipated. The latest Consumer Price Index report on June 10th from the United States Bureau of Labor Statistics also revealed that hourly average earnings for United States workers are at their lowest this century. Man, things are tough. Thought things were tough in 01, difficult in 08. Apparently now things are hitting
The jungle.
back to 08 levels.
Hitting
One of Bitcoin's best friends is inflation. Its inherently deflationary nature. Bitcoin's inherently deflationary nature allows users to save for the future without worrying that inflation is eradicating the value of those savings. Since the COVID-19 pandemic began, central banks have launched unprecedented money printing programs, and the consequences are now becoming worryingly clear. In May, 12 months after the pandemic began to take hold outside China, the US CPI rose 0.6%. This is 5% higher than the same month last year, and this means that US inflation is now at its highest since 2008, the year of the last financial crisis. The May CPI report shows reopening sensitive categories dominating price pressures for a second straight month, Bloomberg analyst said in comments. So, yeah, CPI is really surging right now, guys, and perhaps unsurprisingly, Bitcoin proponents are quick to raise the alarm. Let's see here, Dan Held over crypto lead at growth lead at Kraken, said in a series of tweets, one writing, to an individual of average intelligence, it was entirely intuitive given the massive money printing stimulus that happened since COVID. Held noted that wages had fallen to keep up with any changes, or failed to keep up with any changes, and workers were earning on average less per hour than any time in the 21st century. Wages aren't keeping up, guys. Inflation rates are rising.
This is what bothers me about this narrative. If inflation was going up, wages would be going up too.
Right.
The fact that it's like prices are going up but not wages means it's like not that kind of inflation, you know?
Yeah, it's consumer price
per hour. Inflation, everything is going up. Like there's, businesses. Anyway, I don't want to get into it. This is a macroeconomic show,
Indeed.
I have my doubts about this.
I hear you, but I mean, on the ground, seemingly, we're having asset, commodities, real estate, stock prices. Everything seems to be, surging up. Many things are at all-time highs, except for, seemingly wages bottoming out at lows for the century. So,
aren't those things supposed to be correlated?
What's that?
Never mind, we won't get into it, do we?
Either way, yes, maybe a little unintuitive. Again, you'd think that maybe wages would be rising at the same time, but they're not. So I guess the price of labor in the U.S. Not one thing that isn't rising amidst all of this. Go figure. Especially since I was reading the other day that job vacancies at some kind of highs, decade highs, yearly high, either way, some kind of highs.
But if you look at like the amount of job seekers, it's more like jobs aren't willing to take people at like what they want to be paid right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like, oh, we can't find people. It's like, oh, I do want people, but not you.
If it's, I know in the U.S. it might be a little different, but here in Canada, a lot of people got a very, very generous, stimulus money, COVID relief money, and a lot of people just don't want to go back to work after that. They really did like getting, $2,000 a month from the government. Why do you want to go back to McDonald's and make $1,600 a month or less?
Yeah, but people aren't making $2,000 a week anymore. If people were being offered something just even reasonable, they would take it. But yeah. I think it's just such an asshole narrative to be like, oh, everybody's just so lazy they won't go to work. I mean, guys, I don't have to fucking work. I do this stuff. People want to do meaningful things with their life, and they want to be paid just like a reasonable amount for doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I would agree with you. And but seemingly these are the modern day difficulties our economy faces. Probably government fiscal policy has something to do with it, but let's get into the next one. How are we doing on time? All right, we're pretty much drawing to the news close. Let's cover one more item here. JBS paid $11 million in Bitcoin to ransomware criminals. Ransomware criminals attacked JBS plants that process about 20% of America's meat, and the company has paid $11 million to the attackers. All right, this is another big ransomware story, apparently with another payout. JBS USA Holdings Inc., one of the world's largest food processors, has paid $11 million in Bitcoin to ransomware attackers. The payment follows an attack that knocked out JBS plants that process 20% of America's meat supply. It was very painful to pay the criminals, but we did the right thing for our customers, said chief executive over at JBS. He told the Wall Street Journal. He added that the payment was sent after several JBS plants were brought back online. The ransomware attack also hit JBS's subsidiary Pilgrim Pride Corp., the second largest poultry processor in the United States. The CEO reportedly learned of the attack back on May 30th. A message demanding a ransom was sent to the company in exchange for return access to their computer systems. Last week, the FBI attributed the attack to a ransomware group called REvil, but it remains unclear how the attackers gained access to JBS systems in the first place. Despite the attacks, JBS actually had a backup plan. He told the Wall Street Journal that the company maintained secondary and encrypted backups of all of its data. The company was able to return functionality to its plants using this data. Still, despite the reported good progress, JBS technology experts claimed there was no guarantee that criminals couldn't strike again. We didn't think we could take this type of risk, that something could go wrong in our recovery process, he said, adding it was insurance to protect our customers. Yeah, so even when supposedly having backups to fall back on, they still weren't confident that they just wouldn't get wrecked again. So I guess the experts said, listen, just pay the guys and let's get this over with. In response to the rising ransomware attacks, of course, in the United States, the Justice Department has elevated ransomware hacks to a similar priority level as terrorism. JBS isn't obviously the only high-profile ransomware attack. We had Capital Pipelines last week, and of course, all the crazy drama and conspiracy that came out of that. Yeah, interesting times, and yeah, crypto, for better or for worse, call it good publicity, bad publicity. Publicity's publicity. Crypto in the midst of all the drama between.
Wouldn't you want to be paid in like Cardano instead of Bitcoin if you're going to do some kind of ransomware thing? Like they're going to be able to track it.
Yeah.
Cardano is private. Why would you want Cardano? It's not as liquid.
Well, yeah, I get that it's not as liquid, but there's enough.
I think maybe Jason's just throwing out a random example, an alternative that may or may not have privacy features associated with it. I think the first issue is liquidity, obviously, right? Two, you have to, these companies, they don't exactly have a cache of Bitcoin waiting to fall back on for a ransom attack. You do have to broker a deal, and you have to broker a deal relatively quickly. It's possible that the best currency to find a local broker you can trust to help navigate the deal is going to deal in basically Bitcoin. And so Bitcoin can probably be easily brokered locally. Find some OTC guy that some Coinbase partner links you to. Probably get the deal done quickly. Probably just practical purposes, Bitcoin is the way to go for these matters. All right, there's a U.S. bank, State Street, to set up digital unit focused on crypto. That's right, guys. Another bank getting into crypto in order to offer crypto investments to their clients. It's becoming
more trouble in the gold rush. Indeed.
Solana Labs CEO roadmap includes a $300 million fundraise. Yeah, Solana on the come up. Big funding raise for their aspirations. And Kraken's going to be halting some U.S. margin trading in light of regulatory guidance. All right, Kraken's going to be making changes. I guess no more 3x leverage over at Kraken. Yes, just the latest in light of some regulatory guidance. All right, love to get into some more, but that's it for the news today, guys. We do have to get into the next segment, and that is the chat. Let's see who's kicking it with us this afternoon. Actually, let's check Restream. We're online. All right, I guess I would have heard if we were not streaming to D Live today, but looks like everything's going good. Let's quickly expand out the chat window and see who's kicking it with us this Thursday afternoon. Scrolling up now. J. Kim on YouTube says, I'm back for some TA. Well, congrats, Mr. Nau J. Kim. You were the first one to leave a comment today during the live stream. Thank you very much. We have another new user here that I don't really recognize, Rokoth. Rokoth on D Live says, hey everybody, all shout outs to you, my man. Mike Maker, ICP's looking pretty bearish. I suppose it is. Dave Rice, hi all, shout outs to Dave Rice. Taz Blitz says, good evening all, shout outs to Taz Bliss. Mr. Ether, Robert Warner, I sunk a bit into ICP, I hope it starts taking off. Yes, I certainly hope you sniped yourself a good entry, because it's looking kind of hanging here. Ears up, Def 100. Not sure what this relates to. Is this a sticker on D Live? But either way, shoutouts to you. It's Ponzi. Hey boys, good to see Mr. Ponzi in the chat. Any word thinks that ICP is in a perpetual nosedive. Could be Rokoth. I want to see those diamond hands which bought $400 and hodl. God damn, ICP was at $400. I guess it was. Epic hodl gang into the grave. Dan on YouTube, great to see you guys. Had my third community call. Getting more comfortable speaking with a live audience working in blockchain is incredible. All right, Dan, looks like we have a pretty happy premium member. Congrats to you. Mike Maker is with us on D Live. Tim Allen over.
No, he's not talking about. He was on our group mentorship. He got a job in the blockchain industry.
I thought that might have been the case. I guess I did misunderstand in my instincts.
He told us about this like a month or so ago when he got the job.
It's true, he did tell us this. So, well then, Dan, congrats either way. I'm really glad the new career path is going as planned, going excellent.
That's good. Right, audience. I pay attention.
You certainly do. Mike Maker over on D Live. Shoutouts to you. Tim A. Shadow, what's up, guys? All right, shoutouts to Mr. Tim A. David Rice. Let's see here.
His name is Tim A.
GBU Professor Wally is with us, running Subfool, and then he follows up by saying, but I thought ICP was the internet computer. Yes, I guess it was, but that's still getting wrecked. How can anything named internet computer fail? He says he also invested long term, so hoping it recovers. Yeah, best of luck with anybody hodling ICP right now. I can see why it's feeling painful. The J Glover over on YouTube request. All right, I see your request, but thanks for joining us today. We'll get to that in a little bit. Alex81SG says, interesting times to be in crypto. It certainly is. Don't believe the panic. Don't buy into the FUD. GBU Professor Wally says, Google SEC's pathetic response to Ripple, and take a look at the recent headline. I did see that earlier, but I didn't really log it for today's news. Maybe I'll review it a little later in the show or tomorrow even. Rhino TD says, good evening all. Shoutouts to Rhino TD. David Rice over on Twitch as well. It's Ponzi. All right, already mentioned you. Taz Blitz has been mentioned. Let's see here. Blackbird 987. Good afternoon. Shoutouts to Blackbird. Any word says CIA going to do a fake assassination on the El Salvadoran president? Well, let's hope not. Let's hope anything like that happens. I know whether you like him or not. Maybe we shouldn't be meddling in such foreign affairs. Let's have a look. Mauro Mota. Check HIVE chart. All right. We'll potentially look at the hive.blog chart. Hang tight. Blackbird 987, it's reverse alt season. I guess that's how one way to describe it. Let's see here. Rhino TD, day before El Salvador's active volcano, capital of the world. Okay, I didn't know El Salvador was so volcanically active, but now you know. Ward Bread, ICP down 90% from the top. Oof, yes. I mean, but I'm sure a lot of alts are more or less in that zone. You are longing Bitcoin against resistance. It's testing monthly open and rejecting as we speak. You can also draw a downtrend on the daily OB overbought. Yeah, I can see how there might very well be resistance all over here where we are now, but I don't know. I'm sure our analysts have the rationale for putting on this lot. All right.
What do you mean you swear I have my rationale? I explained my rationale.
You certainly did. You certainly did. Alex1233 is with us. And is this everybody? I think this is about everybody. Algo's still holding $1, says Mike Maker. I guess not everything is bleeding as dramatically as ICP and a few others. The Fear Greed Index is a little higher today. Morimoto notes. Let's see if Extreme Fear will stay tomorrow. Let's see here. I think this is about everybody. Chico Blanco Verano, they need to issue their own currency. It's Ponzi. Time to stake USDT, he asks. Maybe. Marumota, USDC or HIVE dollar HBD. Yes, HIVE blockchain has its own kind of stablecoin dollar. Basil is how East Coasters pronounce it. Basil. Time to go long on Basil stocks. Yeah, I mean Basil. Okay, Basil.
Does it all mean Basil?
Yes, what does it all mean, Basil? Yeah, I'm not sure. Am I pronouncing Basil correctly in this context, or is it actually pronounced Basil? I thought it was Basil.
No, because Basil's with an I, so it'd be Basil.
But I think this is but isn't this like a French word? I think it's a French word. Maybe there is some nuance to the pronunciation. I'll reference this a little later. Market is about to head hard red right now. Says any word. All right, I think that's about everybody. I see a request. Servant13 on Twitch. Okay, is that Turkish again?
It's a little too many.
All right, that's about everybody. Kryptonians here with us. Lots and lots of comments, guys. I love reviewing them, but we got to get into the next segment here, so I got to just scroll to the bottom. Yes, Cardano still has lots of future potential. Cavano Trades joins us as well. Thank you, Cavano Trades. All right, everybody's been shouted out. Time to get into the next segment. Here we go. Alex, if you don't mind going live, let me check what this DM is about. Crypto Bull DM'd me today. What's going on, Crypto Bull? Got to check out today. It's show close. Stamps will be all right. No big deal. Crypto Bull, he has things to do. Today's stamps might be running a little late. But in the meantime, we're diving right into the next segment. Here we go. TA brought to you by lead analyst here at CC, Alex Pearson.
It's interesting that I'm starting to finally see people in the chat now talking about alts dying. Like it's coming into the conversations again.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a buy signal or if in fact, the alt cycle is over with. It's time to get into Bitcoin and the majors. With that said,
we got more pain.
It might have more pain, indeed. Is this just the exit pump? We'll find out. In the meantime, Alex, currently looking at the BTC USD 3-hour on Binance. You are synced up and live. I'm going to dive into the chat, start extracting everyone's requests. Take it away from here. I'll be back.
Okay. All right, lower time frame uptrend is broken here, so we're definitely expecting a little bit of downside, at least towards 34,000, I think.
Yep, I agree.
I still don't know which way it's going here, so I don't really want to hazard a guess at this time. We're right in the middle of the trading range. We took a long here off of a kind of a baseline bounce / continuation long. We'll see how it goes. I really feel like we're likely to get a short squeeze still in this area. At least for Bitcoin, alts look significantly worse in this spot. Ethereum looks much worse than Bitcoin does in this spot, which is kind of as predicted, where we've been looking at Ethereum, Bitcoin, and that looks really, really bad in this spot. So we're expecting Ethereum to pull back against Bitcoin here, and thus we see Ethereum, Bitcoin not rising with Bitcoin in this spot, and that kind of jives with what we're seeing on these various charts right here. Same for ADA Bitcoin. Rejected from resistance. Also kind of what we've been expecting.
Man, those candles really stretched down right towards market close, because I had two signals I was going to put on at close, but by the time it got close, they'd already either risen or fallen 20%. Really got squeezed right at candle closes there.
Interestingly, on lower time frames, we might be able to get a small bounce out of this.
Yeah. That's some pretty sinister down.
Let's see. I guess we could use a fib retracement on this if we wanted to get some targets here and not have to use Quadriga. Usually the 50 is good for these, but you can also look for 38.
Yeah, I always like the 38 as like the minimum, right?
Yeah.
Because you don't quite always get that 50 before another retracement to the bottom.
Ethereum Bitcoin looks rough in this spot. We're likely to get at least another touch of 1,300 sats here. But we could see a return all the way to trade in this range below 1,200 sats, which would be rough. But ultimately, we have broken out of the long-term downtrend on Ethereum Bitcoin, so I do expect this to continue. I don't know in which way it's going to, especially on the weekly here. Litecoin Bitcoin also looking very rough. Litecoin USD here. Stuck below resistance, but trading sideways out from below the daily baseline. This is encouraging. And still give us the opportunity to come up here and tag this area before we test $100, which I still believe is going to happen. Head on over to Bitcoin dominance. Continuing to rise. This is not surprising. This is what we've been kind of talking about for the past couple of weeks, that we had traded sideways out of this downtrend on Bitcoin dominance, and Bitcoin was likely to start making gains against the alts. Various alts may diverge, but as a basket, expect to see money flow out of alts into Bitcoin here in this spot. This is kind of confirmed now that we've bottomed here, I would say. Meanwhile, Uniswap perp, no trade zone. Dragon perp is above the daily baseline, encouraging, but we're still kind of trading inside of this order block where we could get a bounce off of this area. As you can see, it's been support here, but if we broke below it, we want to get out. We'd probably fall all the way down here. DeFi perp almost ready to give us an initial long signal here. We just don't quite have enough momentum. Kind of weren't able to make it back above the point of control right here. I think this looks pretty rough on DeFi perp. All these alt baskets are going to do the same thing ultimately. The moving average is, it just kind of is what it is. It's not optimized for any single one of these markets. So some of them it's slightly above it, some of them it's inside of it, some of it is slightly below it. But really, it's just it looks pretty rough at this time. BNB Bitcoin. Look at this on the weekly. Maybe the 3-day is more suggestive. There we go. Look at that. Get the hell out, right? That looks like this looks like an ideal short almost.
swing failure. Right, coming back to test resistance. Yep. That, I mean, you could even take that to guaranteed down to the first shelf, and if not further.
Yeah, I would
Even
at least
that.
down to 4,400
Yeah.
sats. I think.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I think this is 44,000 sats. No, this is 440,000 sats. Okay.
And then your next level will be that next yellow line down for sure, on top of that old support.
This is not a bad short. This is a full 50% right here.
And look at BPVR there, just blatant node just sitting right out there.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, that point of control.
Oh, and there's a nice little bulge right here. So yeah, these are the two places that I think make the most sense for immediate, for like.
Yeah, price likes to return to the median. This is why moving averages work.
Yeah. There we go. Link Bitcoin. If we break below, is this a real level? Why do I have this marked down? Oh, I see. This is previously a this is a fib level right here that I used to have marked out. Okay. And it's a point of control. All right. We've got a lot of room to move down here on Chainlink and return to the point of control over at 40,000 sats. It's a good 30% drop. At the very least, I wouldn't want to enter Link until we break this this downturn right here. Let me turn off our candle size qualifier. It's making my screen even more confusing to look at. All right, so Bitcoin and the rest of crypto is having a rough day. Not super bad for Bitcoin's part, but certainly on alts, it's really bad looking out there. Dollar up. Let's see. Dollar down. Okay, dollar slightly down. Hanging out near our support right now, but this is kind of good. It's maybe we're rejecting from this area. This is a consolidation area too. You know, we cross below it, hit support, then we've got this consolidation area above us that can act as resistance. Push up into it, break down again, make a new low on the Dixie. That would be nice. Nothing really giving us a good sign of what's going to happen here, except the fact that our support area is holding at this time. So we're much more likely to move up from here than we are to move down, but it could still go either way. All right, so dollar down, markets up. Traditional markets, let's see. Okay, markets are technically up today. So we closed here last night and gapped up to open here today. Traded up a little bit, got sold into.
Man, that's following that curve pretty nicely.
Yeah. Right now we're just trading inside of this, we're just trading right inside of the resistance level. Time transformation has given us a sense that maybe we could still bounce here. Maybe we've turned this resistance area into support. Like bounce, push, move up here. Potentially, but at this time, I'm still looking for a move down. I think. If you look at this on the week, we've got one more day to really make a push upwards and hold it, to make the weekly not look so abysmal. We're almost crossing back under here on the weekly, which would give us a really awful bearish divergence on the weekly. I think this would be a C class, equal highs right here, lower high right here, but still, it's bearish.
Type C.
NASDAQ, not looking too bad today. Okay.
Is that new highs?
No. We're pushing up into resistance, but it looks strong. This is really only in the last couple hours that we've really strengthened up here. I was looking a little bit this morning. As you can see, we were right at resistance, and it was looking a little rough. Here we are pushing above this, at least into this resistance area. This is encouraging. If tech bounces, crypto could bounce with it, no question. I mean, I would classify us as not out of the woods yet. We're not even above weekly resistance.
Yep. Could be a head and shoulders. Well, no, that'd be more of a swing failure.
Yeah. Well, I would hate to be wrong, but I would love to make all the money that would happen if that happens. So I certainly hope that we break up here, and we'll see what happens.
You know something's up when Alex is bullish.
The S&P, ooh, another new all-time high today. This could be a breakout here. I mean, this isn't just a new all-time high, because remember, yesterday we made the all-time high and then dumped below resistance, and then we kind of made another all-time high, and then we dumped below resistance over the day. And today we gapped up on open again. So we close here, gap up above resistance. We close here, we gap above resistance. We push down below it today, but are bought back up above resistance. Now we trade up for the rest of the day, and it really appears that we're going to hold it here. 3 hours giving us kind of a nice signal. This is encouraging. The Dow Jones looks really crappy still, but the S&P and the NASDAQ are making some very interesting moves here. But there is a slight hitch in that narrative that, equities can bounce here, in that we know equities and bonds are inversely correlated. And I was looking a little earlier today. US 5-year bonds still breaking out.
Nice.
US 10-year bonds still breaking out.
Go, baby.
US 30-year still breaking out. And this inverse head and shoulders right here would imply that we are headed towards 162.3, let's say.
Not too shabby of a gain.
10-year Deutsche Bund up today. Well, at least the UK bond 10-year is sideways. I guess it's slightly bearish for the UK at least. Look at Taiwan recovering a little bit today. Remember, this has been very bearish looking right here with a break of this. Here we go. This uptrend. Maybe we could still push a little higher here. Push up into the resistance of this wick towards the weekly baseline. I still think this requires us to pull back here on Taiwan. Let's see how we're slowly losing buyers as we reach resistance. You know, where's the bullishness? We want to see more momentum. We want to see more strength as we go up. Buyers are FOMOing. Right now, it looks like buyers are getting exhausted and sellers are starting to step in, right? So, you know, what was this volume telling us? What is the price action telling us? I got to tell you, this still looks rough to me. Although, at least on lower time frames, on the daily, we could push up here, I think, towards 706. Singapore, very similar chart, still at resistance. We'll push towards the highs now, I think. Netherlands, new all-time high today to go along with the S&P 500. At this point, you got to classify this as a breakout, right? I would want to take a continuation long signal off of this, I think. WADA's basically there. We don't have the volatility right now, but we've got the momentum. Time transformation's good. We're above our daily baseline. We're breaking above resistance. Netherlands. Japan still trading sideways. India, maybe ready to give us a continuation long signal the next day or two. The UK, still at resistance. I wouldn't touch it. Hong Kong, still trading sideways, right at the point of control. It could go either way. Wouldn't do anything with it. All right, so you can see where I am getting this trend line from. This is much more of a weekly trend line. Is it linear? Okay. Certainly seems like a place where we would want to be a seller for the French economy, right? Clearly, I have had that drawn wrong. I still prefer this trend line. It's just not particularly helpful. It's like you take profit here at 64. It still keeps marching up. Either way, it doesn't look fantastic. Chinese economy. This looks like a pretty good continuation signal we'll be getting here soon. I would be interested in this, I think. Australia, almost ready to give us a continuation long signal. It really depend on today's close. Wheat, below resistance, below the daily baseline. Don't touch it. Sugar, still at resistance. Soybeans have officially rejected here from weekly resistance.
Only after a year.
Yep. I would definitely classify soybeans as officially a short. A good short. I'd be willing to take soybeans back down towards $12, I think.
We're going to get a big old storm that ruins a bunch of soybeans.
Yeah. So here we have our uptrend. Trade sideways out of it. I was looking for shorts in this area. We totally broke up here. Tested it from beneath and rejected twice. And then finally we make a lower high here. Very firm rejection on the daily. Very firm rejection looking on the weekly. Guys, I know a lot of you are very heavy in soybeans right now. You should get out.
You know how loaded up on soybeans I am.
Yeah.
Throw away the milk, it's bad. Shouldn't be making milk out of soybeans.
Corn is testing support or testing resistance. I don't this is not as bearish as soybeans are because we're still holding the uptrend. So I wouldn't be looking for I'd still be looking for longs at this time, I think, on corn. BCO continues pushing up slowly but surely. Depending on how we end the day, this could be a rather bullish close. Like one more push down towards this broken support level before we start moving up here on crude oil. I thought for sure we were going to pull back here on crude. I really did. But at this point, it would make more sense to be long than it would to be short. Copper pulling back. Gold and silver trading sideways against each other right now. Platinum still pulling back. Let's heed this word of advice. We will buy at $1,000. This is a good, relatively low-risk entry point for a palladium long. Buying in this area right here. Buying this support level. This is a good trade because you know instantly if you're wrong. You're like, so we broke down a little further, cross below this resistance support level. I'm out. There's some sense to this. Silver here breaking the uptrend. Trading up towards resistance. Maybe it could continue. It did hold this. It did hold this point of control that you see. But I'm not buying it yet. It doesn't look too bad on lower time frames, though. Look at that. It looks like real absorption right here.
Looks like it's starting to become support. Then you got to break that trend first. And it's right at the baseline, so technically you're still under resistance here, but it does look like it's developing strength.
Yeah.
Getting on top of that old resistance back on that last breakdown. There's something to be said about that pattern.
Okay. Gold here also holding on to our uptrend. It looks like it could go either way. If we broke above 1915, I'd want to long it again. I'd want to take it to like 1950, maybe even 2000. Why don't we go ahead and do some chart requests?
All right, I'm down with that. I do have some requests logged and ready to go. Let's pull it up on screen now. Let's hide this and reveal today's first request. All right, first one comes from Anyword. And of course, many people chattering about ICP in the live chat earlier today. ICP is in a perpetual nosedive, he says, but let's cover ICP on account that, yes, so many are curious about it. It's been a hot request as of late. Let's check in on it, seeing now that it is hit these lows.
Well, yesterday we drew out some potential support levels. So right now we'd just be looking for a bounce, maybe around $65. There's some interesting volume coming in, which is suggesting that sellers or buyers are puking up their positions down here.
Yeah, and it looks like some momentum increase.
What was that?
It says looks like from that chart right there, looks like momentum's about to increase. Like I think things are about to bleed out a little bit.
Well, I mean, I think things are already bleeding out quite a lot.
I think the angle of attack could increase even more on this, to be honest with you. I think you might see something crazy out of that. That looks like sellers are super in control. But we'll see. See if it bounces off there.
All right, are you still drawing on ICP or?
I'm still drawing on ICP.
All right, continue.
I'm still drawing on ICP.
Thank you.
Yeah. I was gonna say there's gonna be 3 angles attack here.
And this one is, we'll see what happens with this. I don't want to draw anything on this yet. This is too lower time frame to be concerned about the trend.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Certainly.
there's nothing really to do but to see, like, let's see what happens with it. It'll land wherever it lands. What's next?
Yeah, ICP, of course, debuted incredibly high on the CoinMarketCap charts. Like, it immediately skyrocketed to, top 10 token.
$500.
Yeah, go figure.
Computer is broken.
Yeah, early investors probably relish the opportunity to get out, And that goes to show you never buy a token too early on release. Apparently, pretty much I've seen almost every single one always kind of walk it back. As Alex always says, there'll always be another opportunity to pick it up cheaper somewhere, and seemingly ICP is one of the greatest testaments to that in recent crypto history. In the meantime, let's get into this next request. It's for the Jay Glover on YouTube. He says, can I request a stock? It's called PaySafe. Ticker is PSFE.
PaySafe. The safe way to pay.
I don't see anything particularly interesting about it.
Nope. Nothing to do with it there.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything for us to do at this time. Maybe once we get a break of the downtrend, whenever that is.
Maybe something on the higher time frame, or is this a relatively new listing?
It's a relatively new listing. Yeah, I wouldn't do anything yet, man. I like that we're getting this gap fill right now, but there's no guarantee we won't trade down from here, back down in this area a little bit, trade sideways. So at this time, I would wait for a break of the downtrend.
All right, there is your look at PaySafe. Give me a shout when PaySafe and SafeMoon joined forces for the ultimate in fintech technology. Let's head into this next. Let's look at Maro Mota's next request, and he says check the HIVE chart. All right, hive.blog, I believe is. Oh, you're still drawing PaySafe, so I'm going to let you continue.
I'm always still drawing. HIVE, H-I-V-E.
Correct. HIVE blockchain.
Wait, he wants the stock?
Yeah, no, I think he wants the USDT.
Are you HIV positive?
It's nothing really for us to do. We're still below the daily baseline. Arguably, we're also below support right now.
Yep.
Let's take this. Yeah, there's just really nothing for us to do with it. I'll check lower time frames. I think I saw you you had bought it at a slightly higher price than where it is now. No.
Yeah, I remember. I think he said 38 cents. It's at, or he bought it at 40. It's at 38 cents now, something like that.
Yeah, at this time, I can't recommend staying in it. There's just nothing positive about it. Hey, if it breaks the downtrend or it gets above the daily baseline or water turns green or anything, then maybe. But I couldn't recommend it. So what's next?
All right, heading into the next request. What do we have on the request line? Let's check. We have Willy Woo, the Willy Woo token, Chico Blanco Verano on YouTube requesting the Woo token.
Woo!
The Ric Flair token, is that what it is?
Oh yeah, there you go. Woo! I missed that sticker.
I would be getting out. This is kind of what we've been expecting on a lot of vaults, actually. This is kind of what we've been expecting and wanting. This big move off of the bottom back towards resistance, and then a rejection from that resistance area. So sellers are really stepping in these areas. Look, sellers step in super hard right here. And sellers start stepping in again up here. Look at all these wicks. Push, 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 push. All sold into. I think if you're in this, then this is a great area to be taking profits in. This is like your second chance to sell the top.
Yeah.
In my opinion. What do you think?
And then I think that's the perfect thing to do, because in hindsight, you're always like, oh man, it was right back up there. Why didn't I sell it? But think about it. Take profit here, realize your gains, or get back out of break even if you've been holding it for a while. Let it break. If it's going to break to the upside, it's going to get a test back down, then pick it up. Don't just hope that it goes up, right? Like, you're going to so regret that if we just decide to just drop from here.
Well,
it's just a better move right now, right?
Yeah, I think $1 is a really strong psychological resistance level. Like, this is like $1.10 is where we're rejecting from, but really the entire area between $1 and $1.10 is our resistance level. This entire area right here. See, all resistance. Fake out, break down, sold again. And hey, if we end up closing back above $1, and we do it strongly, you can always re-enter. But I think there's very good reason to want to be out here.
Yeah, and even if you really love it, like, at least take some profit in the case that we don't, because look at that right there, that trend. It's just coming up to test it. That could just end up being a swing failure, and then you got another however many months of riding it out, wishing you would have got out.
Yeah.
It's just not worth it. The opportunity cost is too high.
Yeah, this is what we are hoping happens with the other alts, that we get this very nice opportunity to exit at a better price. Mm-hmm. Well, anyway, I hope you're looking for a place to exit, not looking for a place to buy. If so, this was completely unhelpful for you, but that's my advice.
Yeah, you guys are dumb. That's not what I would do. I'm going to buy more.
All right. Well, good luck in your woo adventures, Sir Verano.
All right.
Let's dive into the next one. Before I do, quick comment here I'm going to highlight from Dave Rice in the YouTube chat. He says, well, guys, daughter's getting married this weekend, and I'm starting the party a little early. Weed and alcohol provided. All right.
Where's that wedding at?
Nice. Yeah. What did you end up buying them? Did you buy them like a big bag of fun?
Did you buy just a bag?
Did you make them fun bag holders?
Yeah. Everyone gets their own personalized koozie full of doobies.
Real.
Congratulations, by the way, on your daughter's wedding.
Indeed, big congrats. All right, so let's dive into the next request. We have Servit over on Twitch requesting the following. This is a 4-pack. You can be selective if you like, but he wants to look at Chili's, RUNE, Comp, AVAX.
I definitely want to be. I don't want to do like 4 in a row. We've got a lot of viewers, but let's go ahead and grab a couple of these.
Let's do Chili's. It is one of the top gainers today, so let's see what's popping.
It's gotta look a little different.
I mean, it basically just looks like Bitcoin.
Yeah, not really. Just kind of popped up to resistance.
It's like, okay, this is cheese. This is Bitcoin.
Yeah, pretty damn close.
It's the same chart, basically, yeah.
I found it interesting yesterday looking at the weekly chart on that trend line that cuts down through. We got that pop up to 38, so I'm wondering, man, if the weekly ends badly, like this could be a perfect pattern of just a 2-stair step up and then another leg down, measured move down to like 21.
Yeah.
But remains to be seen. That's just something I'm speculating in my mind.
I think the best way to play chili cheese here is just take it on a break of the downtrend. If we break the downtrend, then I'd want to take it all the way back up towards 50 cents, I think. So you probably wouldn't be able to get that until we were around like 30 cents, but it'd still be a nice move. I just want to come back to point of control. That's where I'd want to take this trade if we did the thing, if we do move up here. Which we could. This is a continuation long signal in my system. I mean, here we are around the other side of the baseline. We test it. We'll curl up here. Wada's firing. It's not above the dead zone, though, so it doesn't really count. So
just a quick question on yours. With all of that, it doesn't require crossing zero, just to cross?
No. Because a continuation long signal, by crossing and then staying above the baseline and curling up again, the confirmation is coming from, oh, we never crossed below the baseline ever, right? It's this.
Yeah. I was just wondering if you counted within the Keltner channel as not crossing under.
Usually I don't count the Keltner channel because the point is that my moving average, and especially the Keltner channel, is not optimized for every single market. So these bounces off the baseline, it's not going to be perfect looking.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just getting a little bit more insight for people out there who don't quite understand the difference between a long signal and a continuation signal, right?
Yeah. Okay. What's there's Chili's. What was the other request? There's AVAX. Let me go to AVAX.
AVAX. Yep. Let's do AVAX.
AVAX looks pretty rough here. Well, definitely while we remain below this, I guess inside of support and resistance, right? So we're below the support and we're above this resistance level right over here. We're inside of this old buy zone that I had marked out. I just wouldn't do anything with AVAX here either. Keep tabs of the downtrend. If we broke above it, then that would be a good trade to take. We're very close to it. So if we did happen to, on lower time frames, you could see if we were to bounce, these are places where we look. Like this area right here, off of this low, and then inside of this wick. Yep. Keep tabs of the downtrend, and then if we break above it, then I would take that long. One more.
RUNE or comp, your choice.
Let's do RUNE. RUNE was a big gainer, and now it's a big loser.
Now it's a big loser.
Yeah. I'm trying to find out where these lines are coming from. Okay, so we're coming up to our weekly uptrend here on RUNE. We really need this to hold.
Oh.
If this level does not hold on RUNE, then I think
point of control.
What's that?
I say if that gives, you're probably likely to test the point of control.
Think we'll come all the way down here towards 70 cents?
I really do. If we break that trend, I think it'll get kind of waterfally for a lot of those.
I mean, $1 is a pretty reasonable psychological retest. That would be crazy, though. That'd be like a 95% pullback.
Yeah. Anything's possible, man.
This seems a little incredible to me. At that we're definitely in bear market territory at that point, right?
Yeah. I don't know. Things could get wild. Get a dip all the way down there and a buy back up to your box and then continuation.
Oh, I guess there's not much difference between $2 and $3. $2 is the area that I've marked out here. It just seems crazy to me.
That's why it seems right. Because when you think about it afterwards, you're like, Jesus, what's happening? Like, I remember when we went from it was like $9,000 to 3 within like that 2 days, or it went from 7 to 3 really fast, and I'm like, I can't believe this is happening. This is impossible. I'm like, this is over. But like, I feel like it'll be the same type of thing, just a lot more volatile because of the price, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just don't know if that cycle is going to happen quite yet, right? Like, that's a pretty quick cycle.
Yeah, I don't know what order this is going to happen. It looks really rough here. I'm not interested in RUNE at this time.
Yeah.
What is it?
Watch it climb that trend, because it'll let you know when it breaks.
All right, well, RUNE's been crossed off the list. Thank you for that 4-pack. We could only get to 3 of them, of course. We do have to leave room for the other requests, of course. As for the Lemon Chest giveaway over on DLive, that's about 12.5 minutes from now. Stand by for that. Decentralized Citizen on YouTube joins us in the live chat, says, happy to see the show back. Yeah, we are happy to be back. Thank you for all the kind words, and I do see some of these requests coming across. I'll add them very shortly to the list. But in the meantime, let's get into the next request. Here's a question from West Hammer. What happens with shitcoins that die? Do they stay on exchanges or do they get removed sometime? Yes, generally complete shitcoins as they arrive at a dead end, they do get delisted. But of course, the coins themselves generally do remain, in perpetuity on the blockchain, especially if, for instance, they're an Ethereum-based token. The tokens themselves do not disappear per se.
When do you think that there's going to be like crypto treasure hunters that go find old extinct coins and stuff?
I mean, it depends what you mean. Like, old coins that you had, you had your access to, you had your wallets, you had your seed phrases stored to. Yeah, I could see one day, maybe just for a gag, for novelty purposes, maybe some people will try and resurrect old coins for nostalgia factor, for whatever. Hard to say, but I mean, a dead coin is a dead coin.
Like the same way we're dealing with the GameStop right now. It's been dead for so long. All of a sudden we're getting this big spike. Like, go out 15 years when no one's talking about Doge again, and all of a sudden someone comes to bring it back.
Yeah, what's old can be new again, and maybe that'll apply to cryptos as well. But thank you for the question. Let's get into this next one. It's for Damian Hughes on YouTube. Ada, please, if it's not too late. Nope, not too late. Let's look at Cardano.
Probably get out. Yeah, I think this looks like actually a really great short opportunity. I think I'll put this on our list for tonight. Get out. What's next?
All right, get out now on Cardano. There is your Cardano request. Let's get into Mike Maker's request. Good price to grab MATIC, question mark. All right, buy zone for MATIC, if you could, please.
50 cents? 10 cents? I like anywhere in this area right here. So really anywhere between 30 cents and 50 cents. But I think 50 cents makes a lot of sense as a previous resistance level here. So resistance here, support down here.
Don't make sense if it don't make sense.
What's next?
All right, there's your look at MATIC. Some potential buy targets for you, my man. Let's get into this one from the Splash85 on Twitch. Hey guys, can we look at XRP and KCS? All right, let's start with XRP. We'll do KuCoin shares in a little bit.
Looks pretty rough here. Hanging out right in the middle of the trading range, right in the middle of our no trade zone. I wouldn't take a trade on this. I'd be looking for pullbacks towards 70 cents, and if 70 cents didn't hold, then I guess 50 cents, really. 45, 50 cents, this area. Yeah, I just don't see any reason why we'd want to take this. So XRP, KCS. Well, this doesn't look as bad as a lot of other things do, but it also doesn't look good. We're still below the weekly baseline. We're still below resistance. Support here, resistance here. Yeah, I'd be looking for at least a return towards the $4 area. Some nice volume down here around 350. Yeah, at this time, there's just no reason for us to be taking this trade either. What's next?
All right, there's your look at XRP and KCS. We are about 7 minutes to go for the chest opening on DLive. Hang tight, guys. In the meantime, Platinum User on YouTube writes, MATIC, please, dear charting gods, MATIC or WRX, whichever you prefer. All right, well, we've already looked at MATIC. Let's throw this man a bone. Let's look at WRX. I think that's one of the top gainers of today, too, isn't it?
No.
Or was that yesterday?
I don't even think it was yesterday. I think it's blended together for you, buddy. No, I wouldn't do anything with it here. Right at the point of control, as you can see, below resistance. You could take it as a continuation long signal. Here above, so we stay above the daily baseline, cross back up here. I don't like it while we're below this resistance level and hanging out at the point of control, so I wouldn't touch it. If we did continue upwards here, I think I like this area for a target. It's right around $3. But that's if we break up. What's next?
All right, there is your look at what was it again? WRX for Platinum User. Thank you kindly for that request. Let's get into the next one. We have Kusama. We have Kusama being requested for Raquel Botas in the YouTube chat.
So continuation long signal yesterday on Kusama, which we did take. Right now, I would classify this as just a standard pullback after a bullish day on Kusama. We're kind of retesting resistance turn support here. So we got resistance, 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 resistance. So this area is resistance. We break above it and we come back down and we retest it. So I'm not super concerned right now. I'm looking to take this at least back towards $550, $600, I think. So now that we're back in this trading range, this is all back on the table. So yeah, I don't know if we'll make new highs on Kusama, but I think we'll at least retest the old highs. So we're looking for a take profit one, I think. What's next?
All right, cha-ching on the Kusama continuation long. Thank you, Raquel, for that request. Let's get into this next one. Only a few requests now remain on the board. About 5 minutes to go for the chest. Crypto Bull 21 is next. He wants to look at SFP USDT. Does this look like a bottom, he asks.
Not really. Yeah, sorry, buddy. I don't think so. We could push up maybe a little bit more towards $2 again. I still see some liquidity, maybe some strong resistance up in that area. But yeah, I just it doesn't look like a bottom. Or at least if it is, it's bottom on all the alts, right? Like, this doesn't look appreciably different here in this spot than any other alt we've really looked at today. Like, it could bounce if all the alts bounce, but I just don't see anything special about it or why you'd want to take this, especially with so little data here. We can look if we got any other data. That's not helpful. No, we don't have any more data. I don't see any reason why you would necessarily want to take it in this spot. What's next?
All right, well, there is your look at SFP. What do we have next on the board? All right, we have this one here from Vanity. Van City on Twitch writes 4 USDT, please. That's FOR USDT. What is FOR coin?
Or tube.
Or tube. Okay. Tahobi.
I gotta tell you, I really don't like it in this spot. So this is historically a resistance level. Resistance, resistance, break above, back below. Resistance, 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 support, break below it. Now resistance again. I don't want it unless we can close above 5 cents, like close strongly above 5 cents. Yeah, that looks too much like a like maybe an exit pump. What's next?
All right, watch out for those exit pumps, and let's hop into the next request. What do we have here? We have Rot Died on DLive saying, can we take a look at SXP USD?
It doesn't look anything like any different from any of the other alts we've really looked at today, right? Actually, it's probably more like this.
Still fighting resistance.
Looks more bearish than bullish, even here on lower time frames. 12-hour seems to be rejected from $2. I expect this to come down and test $1.50 next, I think. Like I said, if all the alts bounce here, then synthetics can bounce here. But if that doesn't happen, then I'd be looking for this area next, $1.50. What's next?
All right, guys, before we get into the next request, I'm going to open the chest, guys. Here is your 30-second warning. Prepare for the chest distribution to start in just about 30 seconds. Let's get into that. In the meantime, I'm going to introduce the next request. It's SNX Synthetics USD. I just dropped 600 lemons in today's chest, guys. Decently sized giveaway today. I'm going to go hit distribute now, so you should be seeing that any second. Let's hit distribute rewards. Bada bing. 30 seconds to collect your lemons. Good luck to everybody. Get your lemons in while you can. In the meantime, Alex, let's hear your initial thoughts on SNX.
Well, synthetics actually does look different from the other alts we've looked at, but I mean, it looks worse. Never got much of a bounce. Didn't even get much of a bounce in this last week, where everything else at least was bouncing at least a little bit off the bottom. Like Bitcoin, synthetics didn't really bounce there. I would just wait for a break of the downtrend for right now. If the rest of the alts bounce here, synthetics can bounce here too. But at this time, I just wouldn't do anything with it.
All right, well, there's your look at synthetics, guys. In the meantime, let's quickly shout out the big giveaway winners today. Gave away over 600 lemons in today's chest. Any Word came in first with 128 lemons. Crypto Bull with 74 lemons. Mike Maker with 54. Jason with 43. And Revolution with 36 lemons. Congrats, guys. Big giveaway for you boys today. Hope everybody enjoyed their lemon squeezy.
Congratulations, Lemonheads.
Yes.
That's at least worth $100 billion we just gave away. So
yes.
All right.
about us and shared us with their friends.
Dr. Evil has received his payout in lemons. All is right in the world. Let's continue with the next request because we still have, 15 minutes left in the show. Perfect. Should give us enough time to knock out these remaining requests. Here's one from Boris Bitcoin. Stock request, please. Intel. The ticker is INTC. INTC. Let's check out this Intel request.
Okay, this must be the common stock, or maybe it's short for Intel Corporation. Yeah, I just don't really see much special about it at this time. Right at resistance. Curled under on the monthly. Where's our uptrend here? Very orderly trend.
Yep, certainly behaving.
Yeah. I would definitely, I'm definitely not interested in Intel at this spot. If we can close above $65, then yeah, right here. So you can see $65 is like monthly resistance. We close above $65 on the monthly, long the shit out of it. But in this spot, I don't think it makes sense. We rejected here 3 times. We're inside of the monthly baseline. What's the 3-month look like? Yeah. Okay, so yeah, this area is 3-month resistance too. I don't like Intel in this spot. On the daily, there's a chance that we could move towards like 62 or 63, close this gap. But why trade Intel if why be long something that looks bearish on a long-term time frame or is that resistance for the long term, right? It makes more sense to find something a little that's got a good setup. What's next?
Alright, shoutouts to Boris Bitcoin for the Intel request. Here we go, home stretch now. Decentralized Citizen on YouTube requests HNY WX die pairing. It's available on TradingView, 4-hour, or the daily. HNY, that's the one, yeah. Daily / 4-hour outlook.
I mean, this still looks like everything else.
Yeah, fighting resistance.
It can bounce if everything else bounces. Otherwise, I wouldn't do much with it right now. Because we could continue to push down here, test the daily baseline. So we could drop still another 10 or 20%. That is a box. That's not a price range. It's not on this level. Wait for some kind of long signal. What's next?
Alright, there you have it. There's your look at HNY. Here is the next request. Revolution over on DLive. He wants to look at a stock. It's called DBO. Alright, well, let's look at this DBO stock.
Yeah, exit signal right now.
I really feel like the next request is a setup.
On the other hand, this monthly trend is very strong.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't take it here. We're right at resistance still. It's resistance. I'm drawing off of this level. Let's go and let's look at lower time frame over here. I could see why you would want to take it, but on every time frame where it looks strong, it's just it's way too overextended. Like the weekly, the 3-day. Guess you could figure out a way to take a 3-day long on this. I just don't really know what to do with it. I wouldn't do anything, probably. If you're looking at the weekly and higher time frames, they would both suggest that you should be long. What's next?
All right. Finally, he also requested DEEZNUTS. That's. I mean, it's not a joke, guys. It's serious. I'm pretty sure.
I know it's a real coin, but yes, it is too a joke.
Yeah, search DEEZNUTS on ChartX.
These nuts look rough.
Shut it down.
Shut it down. Shut it all down.
Nothing to do with this time. Still below any resistance levels that we might want to draw out.
Can't wait till we go long on these nuts. Like, I bet a newspaper made this shit just so, like, when it pumps, they have an article.
I guess maybe we could bounce from this level. We are on the other side of this, on the other side of the downtrend here. I just don't think it makes sense to take it below 5, whatever, fucking whatever pieces of a cent it is, and then and then it might make sense, but it's pretty hard to take it in this climate right now. If you want to take some rando shitcoin with $300,000 in liquidity, then by all means, but I don't see anything yet to really suggest it, to recommend it to us.
All right.
We need some kind of reaction. What's next?
All right. Put these nuts away. Let's get into the next request. We've got Savage Baller King Boy. All right, Savage Baller. Have you guys seen DN? I think is a high potential for growth. All right, Savage Baller. What is DN? What is he shilling on the channel today? Is this a coin? What is DN coin? DN.com. This is some seriously obscure garbage. Thank you for bringing DN.com. It's an Ethereum token. Trades mostly, I think, on Uniswap. I don't know if this is even worth a look. Maybe go to ChartX.
All right.
Search
DN, what DN? What?
DN. Just search DN coin, I think, and it has.
That's how it works.
What if you type? I know, but if you type, I think it has like its ticker is DN coin. So just type in DN coin, one word. Nothing. All right. Well, you know what? We've tried, and something tells me
we just don't care enough. Sorry, buddy.
Yes, this is likely a complete shit coin, but we do appreciate your attempts at shilling here on the channel, dear Savage Baller, Mr. Savage Baller. Let's continue here. We have one from this user by the name of Adam on YouTube. Please take a look at EXK, guys, and CLF. What is EXK? Is this a coin? Is this, what in God's name is EXK? Do we have to really go into the bowels of
it's a stock
of shitcoindom? Okay, it's a stock. Thank God.
I don't know if it makes a lot of sense to be a buyer in this area. We're basically hanging out at the high already. There we go. It's a linear trend. Okay. Keep going. If you're in it, I wouldn't be taking profits in this area yet. There's just not any reason to be selling yet. But I also wouldn't enter up here either. Like, you either entered over here, or you just, or if we get a retest down towards $6, maybe you can enter there. I wouldn't be entering at 750. So yeah, I guess you keep holding it. What's next?
All right, well, there you have your look at EXK. He also wanted to look at CLF. What is CLF?
All right, well, it better be Cleveland Cliffs, because that's what we're looking at. Oh yeah, this is super strong. I would even classify this as signs of strength right here. It's like vertical accumulation. I think this is going to keep going. Try and be a buyer as close to $20 as you can.
Hey, how much is it up from the October breakout? Out of curiosity.
3x.
All right.
What's next?
All right, well, thank you, Adam, for that request. Let's get into what very well could be one of the last requests of the day. How are we doing on time? All right, well, about a minute to the top of the hour. In the meantime, let's look at Revolutions here. On the topic of XRP, he asks, I got some confusion here. I hear bad things about it being banker controlled. Others say that's bullshit. What are your thoughts? I don't know if it's per se a banker coin, but it is presented as such. It's a corporate coin.
Yeah, they wish it were a banker coin. They wish banks were interested in it. They wish it were banker controlled. But right now, not very many people use it. All you really need to know is it's super centralized, and it's really a crypto in name only.
All right, well, there you have it. I'm not quite so hard on XRP. I do think it's an established token here that's here to stay. It has, it is cheap to transact with at the very least. Beyond that, we're generally here, we're big Bitcoin fans, big crypto fans. Unfortunately, XRP just stinks of a corporate money grab. Doesn't really capture the spirit of what we do here in crypto land. So for that reason, that's usually why it gets the hate that it does. I don't know if it's entirely justified at all times, but again, this space certainly has people kind of on an ideological bent, and XRP really doesn't fit the mold. But thank you for the question, Revolution. Let's have a look here. This is one of the last requests. Van City on Twitch asking, are you guys in Hex? What do you think? So top 5 charts. Not sure what you mean by what do we think about top 5 charts, but is Hex a top 5 crypto? I don't think so. But Hex has been doing big things. Hex has been gaining.
Well, last few times we looked at it, it looked pretty shitty, like it was getting sold into.
Yeah, what's it been doing now?
Never mind, it's going for it. Well, goddamn, yeah, I guess it's gonna keep going.
That's crazy. Fucking Hex.
Yeah, well, I did see Richard Hart on stream yesterday, or even, I think yesterday, the day before, yes, gloating about new all-time highs on Hex. So yes, Hex, the train does not stop. Hex is just a runaway success. Congrats to anybody who's in it, I guess. Assuming, of course.
Can you still claim your old Hex?
I think the claim window's over. Maybe you can. I don't know if you get it. You're gonna get a significant amount if you get your Bitcoin claim. Probably not worth the effort. Should have bought it up when it was hovering around 1 sat, I guess, at the super lows. But congrats, guys. There is your look at Hex. Finally, final request of the day. Although this really isn't a token, someone looked at polys. I don't think this is even debuted yet anywhere, so I do appreciate your request for polys, but there we go. Alright, so let's skip polys for now. Poly, someone clarifies, is poly starter. It might be a shitcoin, haven't been able to find a price. Well, if you can't find a price, it's likely that we won't either. Might still be a project waiting to debut. Alright, Revolution says, thanks again for the Ripple commentary. Kevano Trades writes, XRP fanboys love to harp on XRP use cases, though. Yeah, they certainly do. Kilo 22.
If they were such good use cases, why aren't people using it for those things already? Either the technology is deficient or the use cases aren't as good as they thought it was.
Yes, indeed. Let's see here. I hit the XRP on Hornet's Nest a day or so ago on SM, and the boys attacked. What's SM?
Is it?
I don't know.
Hit the on SM. Not too sure. But yeah, XRP has, you know, serious loyalists, and yeah, you're probably gonna walk into a real bear trap. Well, bear trap. You're gonna walk into a trap. You're gonna get snagged. Social media by slagging XRP. Yes, XRP has serious acolytes on social media. So there you go. Someone by the name of August Chular on Twitch writes, "Do you trade live futures?"
I mean, I guess I don't understand. Aren't all futures like that are trading live? Or are you asking if we do live trading?
The answer is no. We probably don't trade futures live on the stream, but we certainly do.
If it's that question, the answer is no. If like, do we trade perpetual contracts like personally? Yes.
I guess you could say we trade in real time on the daily. Like,
finally, we have one final request that I will try and have done for you, and it's where the hell did it go? Somebody was requesting. Oh, here it is. Rolo Maximus wants to look at BNB. Final request of the day. We're gonna move to
BNB.
All right, we already looked at BNB right at the beginning. You may want to check the timestamps and the replay for that one. Which means it's it, guys. We've got a full 2 hours. Another amazing stream once again. As Vancity over on Twitch says, one of the most underrated crypto streams out there. Yeah, we certainly are. And you know why that is, guys? Is because we're not moon boys. Or in fact, we're quite the opposite of moon boys. I'm not sure what that would be, but what that would be called at least. But, you know, made me think...
I think they're called gay bears.
I think when you were talking about MATIC, you know, Jason's like, oh yeah, you know, that's gonna go down. What, like you know, we're frequently describing 90-95% retracements, at least, you know, projected. Even if it's wild speculation, you know, this is not what a lot of people like tuning into in the crypto land. People want to hear the moon boys. They want to hear. They want the Kool-Aid. Yeah, they want the Kool-Aid to be distributed. Everybody wants to fly high on the hopium, and that's not quite what you get here. You get pretty cold, ice-cold takes on some of your favorite cryptos. You get retracements you couldn't ever dream of being discussed on here, and for that reason, it's... Go ahead.
I said 19999. I've been saying that for a while.
It's probably one of the reasons why you know, we don't have the mass popularity, right? The mass appeal, the wide appeal that a lot of moon boys want. We're flat Earth boys, as Taz Blitz says. That's right. We're stuck firmly here on Terra, right? We're stuck on Earth, and you know, we don't really get off the ground. In fact, you know, flight, the whole aerospace industry, as far as we're concerned, is bullshit. And you know, human beings are bipedal organisms designed to walk the surface of the Earth. We're not going to any moon, much less climbing any hill. But of course, this is all satire, guys. Enough bullshitting for now. We're conspiracy boys, some people say. Others are describing us as Earth boys. Yes, well, we're certainly earthbound. If anything, we're, I guess we're deep underground miners. You know, we don't really poke our head out above the surface unless the gains are truly frothy. But with that said, guys, we love...
That's the way I imagine Jack, like a gerbil in a field, just gains?
Yeah, poke my head out once every 4 years for the gains to go back underground. Let's see here. All right, that's it, guys. I do see your comments. I do see you all in the chat. Thank you so much, everyone. You know, it's the Thursday session is wrapping up, which means we are going to be back tomorrow for the Friday edition of the Breaking Bitcoin Market Update. You know where to find us. Same crypto channel, same crypto time. Going to be back tomorrow and wrap things up, wrap the trading week up. Hopefully nothing too wild happens in the markets just yet, unless we get a solid breakout on Bitcoin, currently at 36,600-ish. Yeah, looking forward to it. Finally, be sure to check out premium.krakencryptocurrency.com if you do want to step your game up as a trader, learn many of the skills you know we preach on this channel every day through taking the Pathways to Profits course. We also have, of course, proprietary indicators suite that you might find of great use. We do have signals and so much more. Our premium community over on Discord. You get all that by joining premium, so I highly encourage you to check that out if that's any interest to you guys. Finally, that's about it for today. Make sure you check out discord.krakencryptocurrency.com. I'm sure most of you are already members though, so look forward to seeing you in the Discord. Yes, I have some DMs to respond to. I get a lot of DMs from the live chat. If you're waiting for a response from me, hang tight. I'll probably do that right now as I wrap the show. All right, not much more to be said. I'm moving to wrap. Final words to our analysts.
Probably it's best to stay out of the markets for right now and just wait for things to be more clear.
Yeah, we're really indecisive right now, and we're pressing up against a lot of resistance points and baselines. So it would probably be best to just avoid trading at this point to give yourself a direction of the market.
Stay out of trouble.
Yeah, if we start bouncing, we'll bounce for several days. So it's not like you'll miss it.
Don't get wrecked.
Don't FOMO. Have no emotion.
Indeed. All right.